Let me start with something I've been hearing constantly recently. I don't have the time. And I want to challenge that, not aggressively, but honestly, because in my experience, it's rarely a time problem. It's something deeper than that. You say that you don't have the time, but what you usually mean is I'm too overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I can't take on one more thing. And that's not laziness, it's just pressure. You're already under a lot of it. You've got long shifts, demanding work, people relying on you, pressure that doesn't switch off when you get home, with your mind still constantly racing. Of course, adding the gym in, healthy nutrition, improving your habits all feels impossible. You're not lazy, you're just overloaded. But here's the part that most people miss. When you don't invest in your health, you don't save energy, you leak it, you lose it. You pay in low energy, poor sleep, brain fog, frustration, and self judgment. The time that you don't spend, you pay in energy. And slowly, without meaning to, you become someone who shows up and takes care of everyone else, but not yourself. And that's where the resentment and the guilt comes. Now, here's a simple truth. We spend our time on what we value most, not what we say we value, what we need to, what we should do, what we have to do, but what we actually prioritize in our day-to-day life. This isn't about guilt or shame or right or wrong. This is just about creating an awareness first and foremost. Work feels urgent. Family, friends feels urgent. Home responsibilities feel urgent. But health feels optional. So it gets pushed away, it gets missed again and again and again. It's not that you don't have time, it's that your highest priorities are draining your emotional bandwidth. When work feels chaotic, you've got nothing left to give out with that. And when you feel like you've got nothing left, everything extra feels impossible and overwhelming. But what if health wasn't separate from those priorities? What if it made you better at them and how you show up in work and how you show up in relationships with others? Better sleep makes you more patient on shift. Training improves your emotional regulation under pressure. Nutrition stabilizes your focus, and energy improves your performance. Health is leverage, it's self care, it's not selfish. Before we add anything extra, we audit because you can't change what you haven't seen clearly, and you can't change what you don't love. So if you're not appreciating how you're spending your time right now, it's going to be difficult to change it. We need to appreciate why we do what we do. That's the first step. So track your day in 30-minute increments and blocks. Think about your day in 4 quarters: morning, midday, evening, and night. Over the course of 7 days, 24 hours, we want to understand exactly where the time has been spent, what actions are you taking from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, and how long are you sleeping. Not the ideal version, the truth, the reality of what your life demonstrates is to be true right now. You don't need more time, you need better boundaries. Let that sit. When people do this, they realize something powerful. They're not actually time poor, they're structure poor. They're not protecting their boundaries. There is space there, but it's just unprotected. And if you're not filling your day with high priority actions that inspire you, it will naturally fill up with low value distractions that don't. This is why it's important to have boundaries and to protect your space, your time, your energy, which produces your outcomes. Now let's be logical for a minute. You're already sleeping, you're already eating, you're already moving in some form. So, what are we really adding here? 3 training sessions, 45, 60, an hour, 15 minutes, 90 minutes. You could get a good session done in 45 minutes as much as you could get done in 90 minutes. That's realistic numbers that I've used with clients. So that's roughly, 2.5 hours to 4.5 hours per week. Meal prep, you're talking about an hour per week. So we're talking about 6 to 7 structured hours across 168 hours in a full week. 67 hours just to improve the other 161. You don't lack time, you just lack protected allocation. You're not being proactive in deciding that this is important enough. This isn't a time problem, this is a values problem, because we make time and we spend the energy on the things that we value most, and we run out of time and we run out of energy for the things that don't. The things that matter get done, the things that don't matter don't. So until this is a high enough priority and a high enough value, one that you can see benefiting and enhancing how you show up at work, how you show up in your relationships, to the point where it's undeniable that the link is there and it's strong, you'll continue to struggle, procrastinate, hesitate, and frustrate when it comes to the gym and healthy nutrition and improving your habits. When the why is big enough, the hows take care of themselves. So start by creating a big enough reason why. You don't need 5 days a week. You need 3 gym sessions. That's the minimum. Book them like appointments. Schedule them in. Have a fixed breakfast, fixed lunch, and a simple dinner. Get some structure in place. Keep it consistent. And once you have that structure, you can tweak it, you can build it, you can refine it, you can change it. But if there's no structure, then there's nothing to build from. We need something foundational. It's simple and easy for you to prepare and follow consistently, day to day, week to week. If you prep once a week, say your lunches or your dinners for the week, and you eat repeatedly in that fashion, you reduce that decision fatigue and you increase consistency, and you prove to yourself that you can do this. It's these small, simple things that make the biggest difference. But it's the small, simple things that are often overlooked. Sleep isn't just leftover time, what you've got at the end of the day. It's protected time. This is your time to recover, rest, and rejuvenate for the next day. Consistency beats perfection. It's not about having a perfect sleep. Of course, there's probably things going on in your life that maybe disrupt your sleep or make it difficult to get a perfect 7 to 9 hours, which is the ideal time, right? But you want to consistently be protecting your sleep opportunity from when you go to sleep to when you wake up, understanding the significance of that to how you show up in work, in your relationships, and even for your overall health. Especially if you work shifts. I mean, this is, of course, going to be a challenge. Having some form of structure that's within your control is going to give you the stability that you seek and need in order to build and be consistent. And it's that consistency that, of course, creates the results. So let's be clear. It was never time. It was misalignment with your perceptions, decisions, and actions. You're expecting yourself to potentially live outside your values. If your highest value areas are in chaos and not in order, then there's going to be disorder lower down, and you're going to run out of time and energy for these other things that you want to be doing. These other things being taking care of your health and yourself. There's emotional overload and a lack of structure. So we need to regulate the emotions and get some structure in place, and they both go hand in hand. And when you fix that, you become someone calm under pressure, energized instead of exhausted, proactive instead of reactive, someone who takes care of themselves so that they can take better care of everyone else. Now, the question isn't, do I have time? The question is, how do I structure this around my job, my shifts, my life, the duties, the responsibilities that I have day to day and week to week? If you want help mapping this properly into your real schedule, then message me structure and we'll build it around your life. Thank you for watching.